are again. Hopefully you can hear me okay. We are live from Bangkok. Yes, Bangkok, which is going through a tumultuous time, as is most of Thailand. Now I'm going to wait for a few people to come in, but please make sure that somebody lets me know they can hear me, the sound is okay, the video's okay, so that I know everything's all right. I guess I'll know if it's not. Hear you. Okay, good. I guess you can see me too. Now today we have I guess he's the top dog right now. Well, this morning, and that is, his name is Beer. There's the female Beer, and there's also the male Beer, and then there's Mook. And so the others are not here yet, or won't be here. I don't know. I have no idea, but I'm just telling you. So if you ask, that's who's here. And this place is absolutely empty. I am the only person here, aside from, right now there's only one employee. I am the only person here. Good morning, everybody. Sawadee Cup. Jack Patit Thai. Speaking from Thailand. Some easy Thai for you. So before I get into anything at all, really, let me go over right now the Thai baht is at 31.80, so it's kind of staying right around there to the dollar. I wish it would hit 32, go above 32, but so far that hasn't happened. Air quality index is excellent, 25. The temperature right now at just after 9 o'clock is 88 degrees, high at 93, low of 81. The heat index, feel like temperature, is 99 degrees. Only a 10% chance of rain. It's a beautiful day out, but it is a bit warm. There is also some wind, although I don't see it. The wind is south-southwest, 10 miles an hour. So there's your weather. As far as everything going on here, man, it is just a mess. It's a mess here. It's a mess. I call it a mess in Phuket. And if you haven't seen it already, and I highly recommend that you watch. If you're not going to watch the whole thing, watch the first 5 minutes or so, and then watch the last, say, 5 or 10 minutes of that walk, because you'll see just how just devastated that place is. And I'm hearing the same thing out of Pattaya. It's not good, and it doesn't look like it's getting better. It looks like it's getting worse. Now that's my own personal opinion, but there are some people who they agree with me, and you know, if you don't agree with me, that's fine. You don't like me, that's fine, whatever. But I'm telling you how it is here right now. They've gone back and forth about locking down Thailand for the past 2 days, and it was decided, no, we're not going to lock down. And then various organizations piped up and said, we really think you need to lock down because it's for the best for the people, the safety. And still they didn't lock down. And then last night, you know, I mean, I woke up at I don't know, 1 o'clock in the morning or so, and then I wake up again at 4 o'clock to start my day, and I look, and in Reuters it says there is a lockdown. Yeah, it's in Bangkok, okay? But what that means is if you're in Bangkok and you're going to go anywhere else, I assume if we're speaking of Longhorns who is coming here and who is vaccinated and who will have gone through quarantine and will have tested while in quarantine, I'm assuming that they will not make him test if he goes through some checkpoint. But I'm saying assuming because I really don't know, because I'm not going to go out and find out for myself, and me finding out is only anecdotal evidence. And so it's very, like I've been saying for a long time, it's very uncertain here. But they have effectively implemented some new lockdown restrictions, which I was not planning on coming to Starbucks today. I didn't really have a reason why. I was like, you know what, I'm just staying home. It's a Sunday. I'll do a little stream. But after this, Starbucks is closed for dining. You cannot come in here and sit down for another 30 days starting tomorrow. And that goes with all restaurants in Bangkok. Longhorn said, hey, you know, when I'm done with my quarantine, we'll meet at Coffee Club and we'll have some, you know, have something to drink, have something to eat, whatever. Cannot. Another, you know, this restriction. They're also going to cut the hours of the shopping malls. I believe it's only an hour. I'm not sure if they're starting an hour late, but I'll get into it. I got a bunch of articles I can refer to. But you know, this is the chaos that's going on. And like I said, look at that video I put up from last night, because that's 3 months ago. I'm trying to find some footage that I have when I was there, and I have footage when the place was kicking. You know, I mean, I've got so much footage, and sometimes I'm a little sloppy with it. At least back in the beginning, I was sloppy with my footage and my photos. So I'm going to have to find it. But, you know, the before and after is, I mean, that place has been devastated. And the reason I called the title of I named this stream Situation Critical, is that I think right now this is a turning point. Thank you very much, Frank. Thanks a lot, appreciate it. This is a critical situation right now. First of all, you have 4 things I think that are important. I was thinking about this earlier. First, you know, you need to get everybody vaccinated. That just goes without saying. Now, Pattaya Bob has been vaccinated now. He's got his first shot. And, you know, that's a good thing for him and for the country, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. Depends on what side you are, if you're an anti-vaxxer or whatever. But I'm saying it's good for the country. The more people they get vaccinated, the better. So that's one. They need to get things squared away and get people vaccinated. They need to get it done. Because if they don't, then they really are just asking for trouble. I mean, it's yeah, okay, so you don't do anything. We'll see what happens. If anything, the vaccines, or whatever you want to call them, the inoculations, can help people not die. So that's a bonus. The other thing that they need to do is, first of all, Phuket needs to be a success. They need to make it a success somehow. It's going to have to be a success. Also, they've already announced October is an opening. They're going to open and allow people who are fully vaccinated into Bangkok and like Kanchanaburi and Pattaya and you know, various other places. Hopefully Ranong. Yes, indeed. And so there's quite a few places, and if these places are made to wait, if people have to wait, listen, man, I don't think people realize outside of the country, they don't realize just how bad it is. And you know, if you watch that video, or you see some of the streams I've done from Chatuchak Market, 70, 80% of places are shut down. I really had a hard time finding a decent restaurant to eat where I could eat. And I saw somebody, I'm not going to name the guy or anything, but I saw a photo from a guy who lives in Phuket. And he said, oh, they paved the road here next to the Patong Beach. And I saw to the left, this is exactly where I was walking, McDonald's, Burger King, and Molly's Tavern. Now, Molly's Tavern was open, but it was early when I went, and they had not opened yet. Apparently, they were only opening for dinner or late lunch, I don't know. Burger King and McDonald's were shut down. There was a Starbucks, but Starbucks, okay, I just noticed that they put up they got some different food up now. And, most of it is definitely not filling, and it's not, for me, I don't think it's all that healthy. A lot of the stuff is cakes and stuff like that. So I didn't want to go into Starbucks. I didn't want to go to Molly's Tavern because they weren't open, and I didn't want to wait. I wanted something to eat. Soy Dog Cowboy, hey, how you doing? I'm walking around there, and you can see everywhere it's dead. Well, this is how it is here. I go down the street here in Bangkok, and there's a lot of places that are not open. They're not shutting down. What they're doing is now they're saying again, first of all, they are locking down only in the sense that restaurants, there's no more in-restaurant dining, and that goes for coffee shops and little cafes and places like that. You can't go inside and dine there. So today, the reason I'm here is today is the last day that I'll be able to dine in Starbucks for 30 days, unless something drastic happens, which I don't see it happening. And also they have some restrictions on the laborers who work in the little shanty towns, and basically there used to be one right down the street from my house. It hasn't been there in quite some time, and I didn't know what it was when I first went in there. I was just like, what are people living here for? I was so naive. I was like, you live here? And then I looked over and they were building a condo, and I go, oh, so they're just housing them while that was just a cheap way for the people to live there. And so they could get cheap labor and a cheap place to live. But let me go over some of these articles because, they're talking about this is a fourth wave. And one of the things that I just talked about is that here in Bangkok, I think the figure, I think it was yesterday or day before yesterday, 250 hospital beds available for COVID patients. And there was a woman who actually died waiting for a bed. She had to wait a week and she ended up dying. So it's not a good situation. My friend's parents, it's good it's not your parents. My friend's parents, it's not good that it's his friends, your friend's parents either, but just caught COVID, even though they are vaccinated, that variant, both didn't have to be hospitalized. Well, that's good. That's good to know. I mean, that's what I'm hoping for. And, one thing with Pattaya Bob is that he's not getting his second shot for another 10 weeks. Now, I came in here today and I asked the guy, I saw one girl, she had a little pin on it that says, I've been vaccinated. That means they've been vaccinated with one shot. It doesn't mean they've been fully vaccinated. I asked him, are you guys fully vaccinated? No, we just have one shot. He got the AstraZeneca, and he told me that for 12 hours he had a really bad headache, and that he felt he had body aches, and he really felt sick. And I was hoping that the A team was here, the beer bar or bar beer. Preo and Tian were here, so I could ask them, hey, how did you guys feel? Because they're young. As far as I know, they're very they're healthy girls, young women. I think Preo was 23 and Beer is like 25 or 26, and the same with Tian. So they're in the prime of their life, I'd like to know, how did the vaccine affect them? I'm just curious, but the idea is that it will prevent you from dying. Now, when there's such a slight chance of dying anyway, I don't know, I mean, how much does it change I'd like to know the mathematical numbers on what it does, if it's, let's say, I don't even remember, but if it's 3 and, we'll say if 3 people in 1,000 are dying, 3 in 100 are dying, is it now a half a person per 100? And this is the other thing, you got these variants. 4th wave, this is from the Thai Examiner, 4th wave threatens to collapse the public health system as the Prime Minister orders trainee doctors to Bangkok. Thailand could be on the brink of a 4th and even more deadly wave of the virus as a top Thai doctor warns that daily infection rates could go beyond 10,000 as the capital reels from an unexpected surge in COVID-19 infections, which has left the country's public health service dangerously exposed. There it is right there. That tells you, let's see if it tells me. It says not enough beds and ICU places to deal with the current public health crisis in Bangkok. ICU beds are fully occupied. We have to begin to choose who will go on them and who shouldn't. Don't let your guard down. Precautions are always important. Listen, I try to always carry something, or I know I'll be in a place that has some gel. I'm always washing my hands. I always wash my hands anyway. I don't want any of the bum gun remnants or anything like that Chuck was worried about, which, by the way, I talked to him, I think yesterday, and he was saying, if it gets over 10,000, they're in deep shit. And I'm like, yeah, well, we're in deep shit already. I hate to tell you this, but here in Thailand, we're in deep shit. We're in deep doo-doo. Mr. Allen, listen, I have no faith in any government. I have no faith in politicians. I've lost every bit of faith that I ever had. And I can tell you that I just said to somebody the other day, I think it was Jono actually, I said, if you're in Thailand as a foreigner, and even really as a Thai person, you are on your own. You want to survive? You better fight and scratch and kick and do everything you can to survive here. Because if you don't, you won't. It's as simple as that. Now, my wife doesn't get vaccinated until August. My kids still don't know because they're supposed to get it through their school. They still don't know. They have to get it together with the vaccine. And I don't, despite what they say publicly, I think they can do a better job. Now, what do I know? It's easy to be, a sideline quarterback, but I was told that the older recipients have fewer and less severe side effects. The young have more robust immune systems. Yeah, it is very sad, Tony. This is a sad situation. But let me get back to some of these things, because there's a couple of things here that I wanted to go over. No, this is not one of them. Listen, there's protest groups that are rallying, and they are demanding that the Prime Minister resign here. And anytime this started, oh wow, there's a photo there. There are a few hundred people. Anytime this kind of thing happens, things get to be a little bit dangerous. And this is the thing. This is one reason. Listen, I've learned a few things in being here, and one of the things is, if you don't want to get in trouble when there's protests going on and that kind of thing, just stay inside. Don't travel around. Don't accidentally get caught. I got caught once accidentally when I was out and about many years ago. I got caught when there was a protest going on, and I barely made it out. I got caught in Cambodia once when I went to a fight, and these guys went berserk in the arena, and the whole place erupted. And I'm telling you, I was smashed up against a one of those portable trailers, like a, what do you call it? Like a container. It was like a half container. And there were so many people, and they were all brawling. And I'm like up against this container. I can't even move, and I was getting crushed. And I slid over to the side, and there was like an air conditioning thing. I jumped up on the air conditioner, jumped on the roof, and jumped down over the fence. That's how I got away from the crowd. Because I was scared I was going to get crushed to death. It wasn't they were going to hurt me. But these kind of things just pop off. If you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, I've been in a couple of coups where, I was in the one where the tanks were out and the soldiers were out, and there were protesters out, and for the most part, the soldiers were polite, and they allowed me through. I had my media badge with me, which you have to. You really have to, because it can either save you or it puts a target on you, But let me continue reading here. We have always been on our own, Scott, but now they care. Yeah, well, that's it. We've always been our own, but before they used to act like they care. Now they're coming out in public and really saying things because they're trying to quell, the dissent, and people are pissed. People are scared. I think I should qualify that. There's a lot of people here that are very scared. They're very worried about what's going to happen in the future. And then that, in turn, is causing some people to get frustrated, and when you get frustrated, you get pissed off. So, are they able to acquire some of the newer therapeutics like monoclonal antibodies? Your guess is as good as mine, Tony. I don't know. I haven't seen anything about it. Ivermectin is people are using it, so they have a lot of health problems. Then why are less people getting infected and having serious side effects in the U.S.? I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to dispute the science and all that kind of stuff. I'll leave that to you guys who want to do all the research online. I'm not going to spend my time doing that because for me, I don't have all that much time left. Listen, if I turn into a monkey, like right after I get this shot, and I can still stream, I'll stream and I'll tell you guys about it. All right, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think I'm going to have major illnesses. I don't know. I could. I could, but I'll take my chance. That's the thing. It's a calculated risk, and I'll take that risk. And you know why? Because if I don't, just like I was talking to this guy a few minutes ago, if I don't take the risk, I'm not going to be going anywhere. I'm stuck here, and I might be stuck in my area or I'm only able to go to places that allow people in who might not be vaccinated. So this is the big thing. I'm doing it because I have to. I'm gonna do it. I don't give a shit about all this research. For every bit of research that comes out, there's research to the opposite, okay? Now, I don't know what's going on with Fauci, because I'll be honest. I'm so sick of the news, and I was just reading a book. Let me stick to my train of thought here. I'm so sick of the news. Everything about it is negative, always. And if it's positive, it's, oh, Joe saved a baby. Oh my God, oh, his little dog saved a baby. Isn't that wonderful? Listen, all that stuff, it's irrelevant. It's unimportant to my life. It doesn't matter. It's a freaking time waster. That's what it is. So, I've gone on a sabbatical, and I am whittling it down, and I was reading a book earlier today on the crapper, if you must know. And it's the 4-hour work week. Now, I bought the book and I read it, and I'm like, okay, great. The guy's got a shtick. He's got his MO when he writes things, and some of his stuff is very good. And one of the things that he said was, just go off the news. You know what? What he used to do was just, on his way to work, he would look inside the newspaper rack and see what the headlines were. And that was it. He didn't read anything. He didn't lose out. Very seldom are there emergencies that necessitate you finding out everything about a particular subject. You know, the whole world is not against us. I don't believe that. I don't care. You can say what you want about the conspiracy. I just don't believe it, and I don't want to look into it. I don't give a shit. If I die, I die. I'm ready, okay? I've had a hell of a life already, believe me. It's only the last 1 or 2 years with this shit, with this COVID, you know. I mean, if it wasn't for Cousin Zed, Cousin Zed and Bargirl Janie, I might have gone nuts already. All right, let me go on here. One thing that irritated me, I saw this morning. I just saw this. And guess what? The Prime Minister of the UK has urged Brits to indulge in cautious cuddles. You can engage in cautious cuddles. What's next? I mean, really, they're going to say, you know what? We found that the only way that you can have sex with the COVID virus around is if you do it doggy style. I mean, come on. What's wrong with people? Why does he say this kind of shit? Cautious cuddles. Cautious cuddles. You can have cautious cuddles now. Listen, screw you, Mr. Johnson. I'm going to have whatever kind of cuddles I want. Cautious or crazy, demented cuddles. I got the Moderna Centrifuge and I had 0 side effects. Good. That's good to know. Government opposition parties have fueled the reactions to this. All right, I tell you what, Daniel. After I get the shot, and once I'm over it, you know, once the initial day or so goes by, I'll let you know how bad I feel. Okay. So if the number of deaths, daily infections soared, the opposition used this as ammo. Yeah, this is the thing nowadays. Everything is about politics and power and money and control. It's not about what's best for us. So while I don't dispute that maybe there's something to the virus being used as a weapon against the masses and a weapon of control, listen. What am I going to do about it? What are you going to do about it, Daniel? What are you going to do about it? There ain't a damn thing you can do about it. Nothing. I don't care what you went out and did. You went out and did something really crazy. You know, it's a little tiny blip that won't even show up on the radar. Now, Longhorns is coming, and he's went through some ups and downs. It's such a pain in the ass to just come anywhere, just to get into the country. That's why I don't even think about, I'm going out of Thailand. I'm not going anywhere. And am I going to go to Phuket? Doubtful. Because you know what? I've been there many times. I lived there. I don't need to go there. I don't give a shit about Phuket as far as things to do. I don't really care. สบายดีไหมชิปเจ็บไหมเจ็บเหรอแต่ไม่สบายครึ่งวัน12 ชั่วโมงแล้ววันเดียวอ่ะเป็นแอสตราตอนนี้โอเคไหม All right, so that was Preo. She's here. Maybe they're expecting this place to pick up once the mall starts to open. And I asked her, did you get the shot? Yes. Did it hurt? Yes. And were you affected by it? And she said yes. And I said 12 hours, a day? She said a day. And I said, well, are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. So that's good. Yes, it's not going to be until October, November, Gennaro. Everybody's known this. It's been out there. They're just, confirming it. Just like Moderna, they're supposed to get the Johnson and Johnson, whatever they've got approved, they are supposed to have. And this is and listen, it's taken them months and months and months and months. Good morning, Carlos. It's taken them a long time to get the vaccinations. And I will say, and maybe Pataya Bob can speak on this a little bit more. I can't bring anybody in because I'm on my laptop and I don't have the StreamYard. This is not a StreamYard stream. But it seemed like it was a production line where he was. It was just boom, 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 one right after another. It was quite quick. So, that's a good thing, but they need to do it regularly, and maybe now they're finally starting to roll up, and we'll see some results from it. I don't know. You already have the following vaccines in your body: diphtheria, polio. Yeah, I have all those. Yeah, I know. Will Thailand close borders, cut off international flights? Not as of now. Maybe if things get worse, they might. I don't know. Hard to say. I'm going to having fun in Bangkok no matter what. I'm sure you will. I got plenty of tequila at the house. So, 66 and 50 pounds overweight. Well, I'll tell you what. I've always been a big guy. And, listen, as I've gotten older, I've gotten fatter. But I have been really watching what I eat. And like today, today is a bit of a fast day. I haven't eaten since 6 last night. I won't eat until 6 o'clock tonight. That's just for today. I try to do that on Sunday because it kind of resets your metabolism, or it feels that way to me. And I want to check my weight before I eat today and see where I'm at. But this is the thing, if you're a certain weight, you're supposed to be more apt to have problems. And so I've been trying to get myself in better shape. I mean, just for the long term, not just for this, but hopefully, I don't have any problems. I mean, that's all I can do right now is just say, okay, I won't have any problems. Let me see here. Some of the other vaccines went through long-term trials, and it was created by one person. Yeah, this is what I mean. I mean, there's a lot of people chiming in, and we can do all the research we want, but it's just like, let me put it to you this way. Guy messaged me the other day. First of all, he didn't give me his name, so I apologize, dude, if I don't have your name, but didn't give me his name, but he said to me, what would you do? I want to retire in Thailand. And basically, he didn't give me much information to go by. Now, how am I supposed to know what this guy needs? I don't know. He said he wanted to retire, so I'm going to assume he's over 50. I have to assume that. I have no idea how much money the guy has, if he has enough to qualify. I have no idea what he expects from this place. I have no idea whether he's come here before. So you have very little knowledge. I don't know, does he have the on-the-ground knowledge? Any at all? Because some will help him a little. Without knowing that, it's kind of like saying, listen, I researched Thailand online, but I've never gone there, so I'm going to retire. It's like me saying the same about Ecuador. Listen, I've got a lot of people that have said some good things about Ecuador, and a few people that are like, but many that are saying some great things about it. But like, I'm almost 60, and I'm not really in the mindset where I'm thinking to myself, I want to pick up and move and take off. Listen, if I ever took off from here with my wife and hopefully with my kids, it would be like let's get rid of all the furniture, give it to the kids, if they're going to stay, or one of them if they're going to stay. I'm taking a bag full of clothes, you know, computers, and you know, that's about it. I wouldn't want to be traveling and you know, it just doesn't make sense to me. So the point is that you can do your research online, you can do your research from studies. It doesn't mean that the studies themselves are all correct, or there might be something in them that you as a layman do not understand. So I take it with a grain of salt when somebody says, I've been researching this thing. Yeah, okay, good. So you have a base to begin from. Other than that, I don't know about. Thank you very much. Kradat. T. Kradat. Thank you very much, Choke D. I haven't really said anything today, but if you would be so kind, please remember to leave a thumbs up. Leave them thumbs up. It's free. You know, it doesn't cost you a thing. Leave the thumbs up. And you know, there's a lot of people out there, they're commenting all the time. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get my numbers up. You know, I'd like to hit at least 15,000 in my lifetime. Please subscribe. Okay? And there's a lot of people out there, and I see them all the time. It tells me in the comments, it says this person is subscribed, this person's not subscribed. So if you're not subscribing, you're commenting all the time, or you're joining in the chat, do me a favor, just subscribe. You don't have to hit the notification bell. You don't have to be in every chat. You don't have, you know, I'm understanding. I know that people have a life outside of, you know, watching me or watching my videos. I understand this. I don't know what's going on over there. She's excited about something. And also check down, let me see here, check down, like I said, if you go up, I think that was pinned, wasn't it? Let me see. Did I pin that? Let me see here. I'm going to pin it right now. At the very top of the chat, there's a message pinned with last night's video, which is a walk through Phuket. I highly suggest you watch the whole thing. Put some music in the background if you want or whatever, but watch the whole thing and you'll see just how devastated that place is. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. Let's see, at 2:38 yesterday, Mid Park received the number 623. At 14:39, 2:39 they're jabbing, 5:36. At 3:33 yesterday, I received my jab just under 1 hour. Awesome, that's good. Listen, if I only have to wait for an hour. Now, were you ahead of your appointment? Because, you know, I want to go, like, they're supposed to be starting at, I think they said they started at 10 and they ended 3 or something. 9, they started at 9 and ended 3. I want to go early. I don't want to go late in the afternoon. But so anyway, yeah, I suggest, you know, if you really want to know a little bit about just how bad things are, it's freaking horrible there. Rode along Jomtien Road last night around 9:30 and it was packed. Lots of freelancers and people hanging out. I think they're at the point now where people have had enough, especially in Pattaya. I got to make sure I say that correct because I'll get shit from everybody and anybody. If I say a word, if I just say it sloppily, I get a ton of grief for it, believe me. Your appointment was at 1700, 5 o'clock. Okay, interesting. What else was I going to say here? Yeah, okay, enough about the cautious cuddles. Downing Street said, people will be urged to remain cautious about the risks that come with close personal contact, such as hugging, as we know this remains a direct way of transmitting the disease. Of course, they don't see no boning allowed. Which, if they said that, people would go nuts. Well, thank you, Daniel. I may not agree with everything that you say, but I do respect your opinion. All right, so we've already talked about what it takes to get into Phuket. You know, one of the big pains in the ass to get into this place is being tested within 72 hours of getting on the plane, because a lot of places don't give the results for 72 hours. So how are you going to do that? How are you going to work it? You have to find a place that, you know, you're going to get lucky, and they'll take care of you. The Prime Minister is ordering all spare resources nationwide, including more soldiers and trainee personnel to Bangkok to shore up the fight against the resurgent virus. Now, I'll tell you what I think about. Someone should have told our health secretary, no boning allowed. Yeah, well, Longhorns, you want to tell people what you paid to get that, the quickie? To get your quickie? Crazy. Crazy. Let me do something here, because I have not been doing this, and I have not been being faithful about this. What happened? And I need to. So, hey, if you want any merch, here you go. It's down in the description, but I got to put it in here because it seems to help. There you go. There's for some merch. You want to help me out? Pick up a t-shirt. We got all kinds of stuff in there now. We got the American in Bangkok t-shirt, which I know is not for everybody, especially if you're a Brit or something like that. I'm working on that. But there's also the This is Thailand shirt that just came out. There's the Bar Girl Lives Matter. I should make a shirt that says Farang Lives Matter. That's the next shirt. Listen, Gennaro, where is she? She's looking very well. she's looking. She's not as soft as she was before. Before she was a little soft, and I don't want to say flabby, because she's young, you know. It's kind of like baby fat. Now she's starting to look like a little more like she's going to give you a run for your money, if you know what I mean. I miss traveling to Isan consistently to visit families, cousins, local temples, and the lovely people in my senior mother's village. Not all villages are the same. Yeah, listen, most of the time, the people in the villages are, they're very nice. Now, I did bring up how the other day, 2 times, I was asked by older women, you live here? You here? Ani Bangkuna? This is where you live? I was like, huh? What? Like, first of all, I was surprised because some old lady just like took the initiative to talk to me, and you know, I told that to my mother, and she goes, well, why didn't you just whip out your camera and start talking to them? That's what people want. And I'm like, well, you know what? My mother knows best. Yeah, I had to get a mobile clinic to come to the house for my PCR rapid test. No, I don't want to say how much. Over $300. These people in the medical industry, see, somebody told me something a long time ago. It was my buddy. If you ever are listening, he doesn't even have the internet. Jody, he knew me when I was training in boxing, and karate, and Muay Thai, and a long time ago. I lived with him for a short period of time. He told me once that he was thrilled to be a plumber, and I'm like, dude, you're working with shit, you know? I'm like, I don't know, you know? It's become like a commercial plumber, you know, where you're dealing with commercial property where you might not have to get your hands so shitty, you know? He's like, your shit is my bread and butter. And I always remembered that, but the reason I remembered it, because he said to me, you know, think about something. Everybody needs food. Everybody has to take a dump. Everybody has to, you know, relieve themselves. Everybody has to sleep. So, and everybody gets sick and needs medical care. These categories, these industries, they will never be without work. I know that. I know that now, but back then I was like, ah, come on, man. You're going to be sticking your hands in people's crappy toilets, pulling out their logs. You know, he made good money, and then eventually what happened was his hands got so bad that he can't. He's like, he's my age. His hands are so gnarled that he's on disability now. So that's kind of sucks, but he's happy, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, let me go on here. We talked about the protesters. Phuket reopening, getting up holidaymakers' noses with no less than 5 COVID-19 tests to be paid for. I don't know exactly how they say that, but it says one hotelier on the island expects that only 20% of hotels are open, and with the incoming tourists limited to certified hotels, listen to this, accommodation rates are reported to be significantly higher for tourists considering Phuket as a holiday option at this time with the sandbox experiment. However, it is the intrusive and burdensome public health requirements, including the continued closure of bars and entertainment venues, that have killed the initial excitement and left tourists feeling boxed in. Now, I'll tell you what, I have not seen anything about the bracelets. I have not seen this being a requirement, so maybe they just did away with that because they thought it's too much. I did see that you need 2 apps on your phone that will track you, okay? The other day, I made a statement and I released it that said, there was a sign up saying Bangkok Market is permanently closed. I was like, holy shit, that's major. My wife comes back, she goes, Bangkok Market's open again. I go, what? She goes, yeah, it's open again. I go, wouldn't you know it? Open again. I have not heard from Tom, and I don't know what's, he's always been a little strange in his own ways. He said he got a job, and I have not seen him I saw him one time sitting in the mall. I said hello to him, and he was like, oh, he's like, yeah, I got a job, I'm not going to be around much. I said, okay, all right. So keep in touch. He doesn't keep in touch. Now, I don't know what happened with him or what kind of job he got, I don't know. I don't have, this happens, and I don't have I'm not determined to go and find out what's going on with him or anything like that. If he says he's okay, he's okay. Whatever he wants to do. I got several people in my life like that. I might see the guy in, a year, and then, hey, how's it going, man? We'll pick up just like we talked yesterday. So I don't know what's going on. Good, he's got a job because for a while there he was struggling. Now, let me see here. There is growing skepticism. Boy, see, I've been skeptical from the beginning, and I don't want to call myself a skeptic, but I am extremely hesitant to believe what's going on. I just take everything with a grain of salt. There's growing skepticism about the outcome of Phuket's reopening after it emerged on Wednesday that already fully vaccinated travelers on a 2-week holiday to the island will be subject to no less than 5 COVID tests at their own expense and will have to wait in their hotel bedrooms for the results to come back from the processing laboratory. I don't know, I thought it was 3. I don't know what was changed. Nowhere do I see anything about having to have a marriage certificate. I just don't, I don't know. No, listen, Gennaro, I think of myself as a realist. I think about, what's so funny is when I was doing that walk, and when I said, well, I've decided to stop, I would have never stopped. I want you to understand that. I would not have stopped. And that's the thing with me. I used to get into the boxing ring with guys who were world champions. I used to get into the ring with guys who trained with world champions. I used to get into the ring with people, they could kill me. And sometimes they beat the piss out of me. I got in there because I thought I have to do it to conquer my fear. I have to do it to get to the next level. When I did that walk, I thought I will die trying to do this because I will not give up. I refuse to fucking give up. But when my mother started throwing out the what ifs, and then my wife was like, how much do you value your family? Those kind of things. I was like, how can I fight with this? You know, the what ifs out there, you always have to consider them. And when it comes to, you are on your own here. Listen, my wife could only do so much for me here. My kids can't do much for me. You know what I mean? The fact that I have a family, that counts for something. Not much, but it counts for something. I'm not Thai. And so I was thinking about it, and I thought, first of all, my wife said something. She said, you know, listen, I don't want to have to come and identify you when you're in pieces because you got smashed by a truck. That made me think, what if I got hit? What if I did? Even though I think I'm pretty alert and pretty, you know, like sharp about that kind of stuff. I don't just like walk around, da 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 da, you know. I'm attuned with my surroundings. I just thought, what if? And those are the things that make me worry now. What if something pops off here? I can tell you, we'll lock the gate. We got food. At least it will last us for, you know, if we really stretch it, it will last maybe 2 months. We can always get water. We got a big water tank. We're fine. You know what I mean? So I'm always thinking about these things. And I think now, I'm thinking about them more. I already, you know, the wife knows, hey, listen, where's all our important papers? We have all our important papers in one place. We need to pick up and go. Boom. We got a bag. We got everything we need. It's, you know, the thing is, can you go anywhere? You don't know. You know, here's the thing. What's normal to one person is not normal to another. This shit ain't normal, what's going on here. This is so far from normal. I feel like a caged animal, and I'm able to go out and walk around, go places. But still. All right, let me get back to this article here. Governor Narong Woon-siu said that he expected to see travelers arriving on the once thriving holiday island from July 1st from both America and Europe. However, he only mentioned international flights operated by Thai Airways from Europe, which he pointed out were scheduled from London, Frankfurt, Zurich, Paris, and Copenhagen. Undoubted interest among international travelers, but June has seen growing question marks raised by uncertainty. Here's that word again, uncertainty, and new restrictions imposed. The top official did not reference other planned flights announced in recent weeks by Qatar Airways and Emirates, which had both indicated plans to fly direct to Phuket. There had been undoubted interest among international tourists in traveling to one of Thailand's and the world's favorite destinations without quarantine, especially among fans of the kingdom, prompted by what appeared like opening brighter skies at the beginning of June. Well, things can change, you know, quickly here. After building up your relationship with your dog, scaring yeah, let me tell you something. I love that stick, man, because that was probably, those two dogs coming at me was probably the most scared I've been. I can't even remember. There was a time I got in the ring with a guy once. I'm not going to say who he was, but he was very well known as he knocked everybody out. Thai guy. He's, you know, like fucking 25 years younger than me. And we just were messing around. But like, then I tagged him a couple times. And he's like, oh, okay, you're a little better than I thought. Next thing I know, pop, 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 hit me a couple times. And I'm thinking to myself, oh shit. And I actually thought to myself, fuck, this guy gonna knock me the fuck out. He's gonna knock my head off. You know, I actually felt a little bit of fear. And I thought I better fight back. But those dogs scared me far more than that. I was scared shitless when those dogs came at me, man. You know, it's one of those things I can't forget. They were like Rottweilers, man. They were big, and it was like 3 in the morning and raining, and I was just thinking to myself, fuck. If I fall down, I'm history, and they'll fucking rip me to shreds here. Nobody will ever know what happened aside from he got eaten by some dogs or some dogs chewed him up, but they won't know I was just walking along, you know. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I don't usually fear, you know, all that many things. I mean, I can control it. I know, okay, I'm scared, but this is a good thing. You know, I'm not stupid. I'm not like looking to get shot in the head or, you know, some 350-pound dude just, you know, like drop an elbow on my head. You know. They're excited back there. But, you know, you got to try to keep it in check a little. Saw a vid in which there were hundreds of people in Phuket in food lines, and very generous Aussie donates thousands of bags, food bags weekly. Yeah, and you know, I'm not even going to get into that because what I can say is I think it's great, and I wish that it happened more often, and I'd be willing to do what I could, you know, if not anything but just pass the food out to people. However, you have to be careful of how that is construed. You have to be careful how that is construed by people. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to get into it. Hello, everybody. Hello, all the new people. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Let me go on here with this. I love how I understand that Thailand's a beautiful place. There's a lot to do here. You want to go to the mountains, you want to go to the ocean, you want to go to the jungle, whatever you want, you can do it. You want the, you know, the big city, you want traditional, you want old. I was just thinking about how I need to go back down to the Chao Phraya. I almost went today and I just went, And now I don't think I'm going to be going down there because you can't go and sit anywhere. You know, you can have whatever you want here. However, and this is the thing, and even my, you know, I've heard this by several people, but, you know, it's good that you show the wonderful things here, but you need to show, but they're, you know, it's just like anywhere else. And if you're a tourist, you come and you just want it, you don't want to deal with any of the bad things. But when you come here and you're an expat, listen, I don't have to deal with very much, but once in a while I do. But for the most part, I'm good, you know. But you have to deal with some of the things, like the whole reason I made that shirt, "This is Thailand," is because sometimes there's going to be stuff going on here, but you're just going, what the? I don't understand. Why are they? And you're just going, what? And you just have to let it go. And I've said this before. It's just like that. I think it was Budweiser. God, she smells good. She's wearing perfume. You know, it's like the why ask why. Sometimes it's better just not to ask why, not to know why. You just forget about it. Just be oblivious. What is it called? Selective ignorance. Reminds me when I wasn't thinking. Me and my village friend went out drinking. He ended up drunk, so I drove him home, and naturally I thought I could walk back to home surrounded by dogs. That's what I mean. Those are the things that people don't think about. Tourists usually don't have to deal with that. It is Gennaro. It makes me want to go buy more food. Oh, it's what's today? Sunday. It's Sunday, so they open at 10. That I think tomorrow they're going to open later. I'm not sure. I have to ask. That goes to show that they didn't really let everything out. Let me see here. Let me see if I can find this. Where's it at here? Okay. New rules. Okay, we already know about those. Cautious cuddles. Yeah, I don't know where this is. Maybe it's Bangkok Post. Where are we at for time? We're at 1 hour. I'm trying to cut the length of the streams down. Okay, the new restrictions. That's what it is. 42 COVID deaths and 3,995 new cases. Those are the numbers today. And you know, if you really look at about the last 10 days, you can see a gradual increase. Why is there a gradual increase if people are getting vaccinated? That's a big question, but not enough people are getting vaccinated. Now, let me read this here. All right, the new measures are for 30 days starting tomorrow, including a ban on restaurant dine-ins in Bangkok. Here we go, Mr. Longhorns, and 5 surrounding provinces of Nonthaburi, Pathum Thani, Samut Prakan, Samut Sakhon, and Nakhon Pathom. According to a document published in the Royal Gazette on Saturday night, shopping malls and the 5 provinces must be closed by 9 p.m. and parties or celebrations or activities, including involving a gathering of more than 20 people, will be banned for the same duration, the document said. It also said construction sites in the 6 areas will be shut down and workers' camps will be sealed off to contain clusters. The order followed the emergence of more clusters in construction camps in the capital, which has 575 such sites housing about 81,000 workers. A lot of these workers are Burmese, or at least some of them. Definitely going to Pattaya. How's Jono doing? Last I heard, which was I think day before yesterday, he's fine. You know, he's preparing for Senior Longhorns and myself to eat some of his pizza. Maybe we'll have some. Well, we're not going to be going into the Mexican restaurant now and eating there and sitting there drinking, but that was part of the plan. I'm interested in knowing if they're going to shut down Kotlan again. Yeah, I'd be interested in knowing that. I'm waiting to see what they do about that, and what's going to happen, you know, in Chonburi province. If they're going to crack down there as well. Let me go on here. Oh, hashtag Bangkok lockdown was trending on Twitter in the early hours into Sunday, with the internet users criticizing the timing of the announcement and saying they were taken by surprise by the new measures. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha said on Friday he wanted to avoid the word lockdown and that specific businesses and activities would be targeted to contain the virus. Now, here is the thing. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. You know, in one breath they're saying, "Oh, things are getting better. We're going to open up." How does this inspire? I really think they need to rethink their strategy. But I'm not in charge. You know, it's like I said. I'm like the fourth string quarterback sitting on the sideline going, "Hey, it'd be better if you did this or you did that." You know, it's easy for me to say what I think should be done. Today's numbers. I don't know what they are in Bangkok. I didn't see, but this is the issue: is that if things get carried away here in Bangkok, they're going to keep the surrounding provinces shut down. And didn't it say? Let me see here. With these new restrictions, it said, okay. There's a ban on restaurant dine-ins in Bangkok, and okay, it doesn't say Chonburi, Nonthaburi, Pathum Thani, Samut Prakan, Samut Sakhon, Nakhon Pathom. Okay. So, things could be better. They could always be better. You know, I'm frustrated, irritated, confused by all this because, you know, what are you supposed to do? There's nothing you can do. You just abide by their rules and their guidelines. You know, otherwise you get deported or you get thrown in jail. And, you know, if me getting a vaccine means the difference between me being able to travel around the country or not being able to travel around the country, that's why I don't have a problem with it. And also if it keeps me from dying, which maybe it will, maybe it won't. Yeah, Andy, this is the thing. I mean, it's not going away. There are how many different types of coronavirus out there? How many types of flus are out there? How many types of colds, you know, strains of the cold are there out there? What was I going to ask her? Wasn't I going to ask her something? She's not busy, probably. I forget what it was I was going to ask her. I have the flu right now. It's a pain. Yeah. I haven't had it in a while, and although I get headaches once in a while, I'm feeling pretty good. I've been feeling pretty good for a while now. It's about time. And if I'm going to get a little bit sick from this shot, you know, I'm not looking forward to it. But you got to do what you got to do. So, anyway, it's the same thing that's going on here. I mean, I'm beginning to think like, okay, so what are we going to talk about? What are we going to talk about when we're not talking about, you know, the situation here? You know, where am I going to go? Where's the first place I want to go? The first place I want to go is Koh Payam, which was next to Koh Cham, which was the place I went several years ago. It's down by Ranong. I really like Ranong. I like that area. I like Khao Lak. I like that whole area. So that's my thing. The wife wants to go to Sortani, but I'm like, listen, I don't want to go in the jungle. I want to be on the beach, and she's okay with that. But you know, we got to try to line up our schedules, and who knows? But who knows what's going to happen? You know, both my kids are doing online schooling. They're not even going into the university. It's, you know, it's kind of ridiculous. Good morning there, Ray Bear. Raymond Bear. Hi there, friends and neighbors. This is Cousin Zed. Chucky is fine. Sent me a message last night. I don't even remember what it was about. You know, listen, I get a lot of messages every day from a lot of people. It's hard for me to keep up. And that's another thing. I'm going on a little bit of a hiatus where, you know, like I only take messages at certain times of the day. I'm going to try to, you know, get a little more organized. But everybody's doing fine, you know, as far as I know. It's good to see Soy Dog Cowboys back in here. And maybe one of these days I'll bring some people back in, you know, use the StreamYard and bring some people in. But I'll tell you what, one thing about the StreamYard that I didn't like is that everybody's picture was clear. But if I, like right now I'm on my phone, I'm using the phone to film, and I'm using the laptop to look at articles and that kind of thing, because it's, you can't do you can't do both on the phone. But if I was doing this with StreamYard, for whatever reason, I would have problems. I would get that blurry picture, and I don't like that. So I need to. There's a lot of things I'm trying to do with my channel, and hopefully you guys have started to notice. Listen, I'll give you a little recipe. All right, you want a recipe of mine? I'll give you a recipe that I really like. It's very simple. I'll give you two. You get two for the price of zero. One is get a little Philadelphia cream cheese. You start to make an omelet. You throw in some chives, a little spinach, whatever. You throw in some tomato, and then you put some of that cream cheese in the middle, and then you flip it over, make it to where it's an omelet. It's closed, and I don't know what it is, man, but it's so good. Well, thank you very much there, T. Cradat. Appreciate that. There exists a time lag depending on supply of vaccine. I'm in BC, still waiting for the second dose. It sucks, yet it is what it is. That's about what it is. I mean, really, I could bitch and moan about everything. Well, I mean, what's the point? Sometimes it's just a vent, okay, and then I feel a little better, but then I'm like, all right, so what did that accomplish? Not much. Province of BC didn't go into full lockdown like Australia. I feel bad for the Australians. Death row, you sure it's not flu, and it's flu, not COVID. The vaccine passport nonsense will implode. They're unable to contain the truth. Just wait for it. Okay, we'll see, Daniel. We will see. That recipe is baby. Well, thank you very much there, Mr. Raymond Bear. Choke D to you, choke D to T. Cradat. Appreciate it very much. That recipe is baby. That's a nice little recipe. Okay, it's very easy, very simple to make, and it's quick, right? Another one that I'm doing, which is something I do like every other day, and I'm down now it's about 8 kilos, and it takes a couple days. Maybe I'll lose a little more, maybe I'll go up a little bit, and then I'll go back down, but it's about 8 kilos. I get some ground beef, about a quarter pound of ground beef. You throw it in like a pan that you can put in the oven, like a little thin pan so that it makes like a meatloaf. You throw some spinach on there, some spinach leaves, put some garlic, you put a little bit of tomato sauce, zucchini. Hello, mate. Put another shrimp on my Barbie. My name's Steve Irwin. I'd have to listen to some before I could really try to practice it. Hello, mate. Those photos we share about what we were cooking and making good stuff. Yeah, I mean, we could do that. My stuff doesn't always look great because I'm just cooking for myself a lot of the time. My kids, like yesterday, my kids had spaghetti with meat sauce and with sausage in it and everything. I'm not going to eat that because I'm not eating pasta. I had ground beef, and I put all that in there. Yeah, the air fryer is very good. Jono has that. Oh yeah, where's the Indian guy who does Modi? I forget Modi's first name. Cassandra Modi, Mr. Modi. I'm feeling most uncomfortable. Oh God, don't get me started. My name's Jenny. I'm Barber, but I have no money because I'm like Sektumat. I'm like big sausage. I'm not like small sausage. If man have big sausage, I'm go free, no problem. Yeah, well, I don't know what happened to Monash. She's been banned. I don't know. Maybe I can get a hold of him through Facebook or something like that. But with the meatloaf, the good thing about the meatloaf is that where are we for time? Well, the good thing about meatloaf is that it's so easy, man. It's so quick. You just throw the meatloaf in there, you throw the garlic in there, and sometimes I don't even cut the garlic up. I just let it explode in there. Some tomato sauce or some tomatoes, some zucchini, and then you get like 2 strips of bacon. Put the bacon on top. Put a little hard cheese on there, like some Parmesan or some cheddar. Throw it in the oven for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Cook it up. marvelous. The lobster. Yeah. Like the way you said, let it smell. Oh, God. Do we have to go there? Wasn't there something somebody wanted me to ask Preo? I would ask her. I forget what it was, though. It might have been me. I was going to ask her something. Maybe I'll ask her how much weight she lost. I forget, but she's lost some weight. She had to lose at least 2 kilos, 3 kilos. She's looking firm. She's looking very firm now. What scares me, really, is like, I think about Alex, and he's only... This smells good. It's cinnamon, I think. I don't know if this girl's eating cinnamon roll, but somebody's eating cinnamon. She's you know, like she's 2 years older than Alex. And I'm like... And then the thing is what are you supposed to do? You're a college kid. You can't even go out. What are you gonna do? You can't go to college. You can't go there and meet up with some chicks. You can't do it. You know. They go out once in a great while to meet up with some of their friends, but it's like, you know, it's like, you know, 2 hours and they're back. I don't know, maybe that's all it takes, but, you know, they go out with their buddies or whatever, and, oh, Carlos, no Jack Daniels. I don't really like Jack Daniels because I used to drink it when I was a kid, and I used to get sick because I drank too much of it. That's Southern Comfort. And I'm not a big drinker anymore. When are you releasing Cousin Zed's trademark Who Farted? Oh, I don't know. You know, listen, that video didn't do very well. So maybe my voice is not all that great. I do have the bar girl though, the nympho bar girl who doesn't care about money. She only cares about the big sausage. I want to do that. I'm not on a crash diet, believe me. I'm not hungry. That's the thing. I don't feel like I'm in hunger or anything like that. And if I do get hungry, you know, I just have like a little bit of celery with some peanut butter, unsweetened peanut butter. I have a little bit of strawberry, a few strawberries, something like that, and I'm fine. Or I have a tea, hot tea. I used to have hot tea with milk and honey. Now I just have hot tea. So, you know, I do, like I said, I've said this a long time. I know what I'm doing. I have a good idea of how to get myself into shape. It's a matter of just saying, I want to care enough to be disciplined. And it's worth it to me. I like hot green tea if it's like at a Japanese restaurant, but like if it's just at home, I don't know, I don't like it. You know? It's not the same. Not the same for me. I mean, you know, I'll drink it in a pinch, but it's not one of my favorites. And Starbucks, they only have green tea frappuccino. I don't think they have any green tea, just regular green tea. They only have the frappuccino, which is like, it's so nice when a pretty girl's in the background. It raises the stream to another level. That girl, she's, I don't know which one you're talking about. I'm talking about the one who just walked away. Her and her husband are here every single day. I don't think I've ever been here when they weren't here, and they seem like they are one. And what I'll say is she's pleasant. She's a pleasant lady. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay? Mook here, who works here, she's a pleasant woman. She has a nice disposition. She has a good nature, as somebody says. Made up a batch of Southern sweet tea yesterday. So good over ice on a hot day. Yes. I've had better and I've had worse. Oh, God. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. let me just say this one thing. Have you ever had, this is what I'm going to ask. Have you ever had a woman where you went back to your place with her or whatever, and when you finally got her naked, you said to yourself, this is like unwrapping a present for Christmas. Holy moly, what a wonderful gift I have here. If you haven't done that in your lifetime, then you better get over here and you better do it at least once, because I can tell you it's a great feeling. Yeah, I'm trying to, that's another thing. The reason I have strawberries, I'm not having like mangoes or anything like that, is because they're low in sugar. You don't have a lot of them, they're low in sugar. And I'm trying to cut the sugar. I'm trying to keep the sugar down right now beneath about 10 grams of sugar a day. I'm not going to comment on that. I don't want to brag. I've had several of those instances. Well, I mean, we were doing things, holy things. I did once and I married her. Today I don't look. My big drinking days are over and I'm good with that. Prayer could be that gift. She's like a mint julep on a hot day. Yeah, you know, she says she doesn't want a boyfriend and all these kind of things, but you know how that works. No, man, I don't want no chick. The next thing you know, when you least expect it, when you don't want it, you hook up with someone. That's probably what's going to happen to her. She's a cute girl and she's young, and you know, I don't know what her deal is though. You know, as far as school and education, what she wants out of her life. I don't think she's in school. I know where she comes from, which is Bangkok, which is where I went with that mountain, which I don't even remember the name of the mountain now. I just call it the mountain where I walked on the side of the mountain. And she's from there, and I really like that place. It was man, what a fantastic place. That if you want to do things outdoors, that's the place to go. And I liked Nakhon Phanom, which is where Tian comes from. And I just picked those places, and then I was like, you come from this place and she comes from that place? How did that happen? Sounds like what you were doing regarding diet is right on. Well, I hope so. I try. And I don't beat myself up if if for some reason I, eat a little more than I wanted to, but I don't really eat anything that I don't want to eat now. My wife brought home some roti the other day, and she goes, "Oh, this is for Nicholas. I'm just going to have one." And I said, "You're going to have one. So that means you're probably going to have two." I'm like, why not just stop yourself and say, "Okay, enough. I don't want the roti. I want it, but I'm not going to have it because I'm stronger than you." And she won't do that, At least not now. She's not to that point where she's that concerned. Anyway, I guess we're doing a 90-minute stream here, which means we only have about 6 minutes left. So, yeah, I like this. A little, drama-free, trouble-free, troll-free. I love it. I've been very hesitant to put in any kind of rules or anything like that into the stream because, listen, basically it's don't be a douche. Don't be a dick. Don't name call. Those are the only rules. You want to disagree, I don't have a problem with that. And don't come in here spewing complete horseshit. Unfounded horseshit. And I'm not talking about with the COVID because, there's a lot of uncertainty when it comes to that. Yeah, he's doing great, man. I'm happy for him. He's doing all the walking and stuff like that. And I'm walking and every day I'm doing some more push-ups and some more squats, and I'm adding exercises. I'm doing freehand exercises, calisthenics, and shit like that. I'm doing a little bit, but I just don't want to get to the point. My wife said yesterday. She said, "Oh, maybe I should do a couple hundred squats." And I looked at her and I went, "Say what?" You're gonna do a couple hundred squats? Okay, be prepared not to be able to walk tomorrow. And Alex said, yeah, I did 200 squats straight, like before I went to school. It was last time he was going to school. And he said he couldn't walk right for like 2-3 days. So she's not gonna be able to do it. You need to build up to that a little bit, you know. It's not that somebody can't do it, it's not that difficult to do. There are enough of us on here that when the trolls show up, we pretty much shut them down. Yeah, and I mean, listen, I've got keywords in there and, you know, and there's all sorts of reasons why certain people are gone and been banned and you know, I'm talking about the trolls. And that's good. You know, one comes up, one wants to mouth off once in a while. I mean, you know, all right, listen, sometimes it's funny. But like sometimes it's just disruptive, you know, and we don't need that. I have seen you in Sukhumvit 11 a few years ago, and I follow you on YouTube. So soon I moved to Thailand. Oh, well, good, good. Listen, I got a message from somebody the other day asking me about, you know, what can I do to help them to move. Join Patreon. That's what I can do. And I did give them some information, which is basically make sure you got the cash. You know how much the cash is. Make sure you've been here at least once. Don't come here sight unseen. That's just stupid. I'm gonna go to Thailand. I'm gonna love it there. You might, but if you don't have somebody guiding you and showing you around, showing you the ropes, and at least giving you a little bit of a sense what it's like on the ground, I think it's pretty foolish to do that. I'm not saying it can't be done. I just think there are better ways to do things. And if you come here once or twice, you check things out, you kind of find things out for yourself, you kind of learn about things. Maybe you learn, you know, some basic language, some of the basic language. I think you're going to be a lot better off. Listen, I got the what do you call it? Marvin the Martian. Yeah, here we go. I got the Marvin the Martian voice down. Well, then why are you watching? Thank you. We'll see you later, buddy. And you know what's so funny is the guy's never subscribed. He hasn't done anything. So see you later. But thank you for your comment. I appreciate it. I'm blue-faced. My face looks pink. I got all kinds of fucking age spots and hair on my face. You know, listen, come on. Get real, man. Get real. Get a life. Well, I think it's very important that you learn how to speak the language if you're going to be here. Now, something I'm going to say, would you recommend owning or renting a condo? Well, have you ever been here? Have you ever been here before? How much time have you put in here? Do you speak the language? You know, those are some questions that you need to really answer. Okay. Well, at this time, I wouldn't buy a condo. If you don't have anything yet, I would not buy a condo. There you go. Rent. Be ready to get out of Dodge because you never know what's going to happen here, and things are dicey here. Listen, we're getting to the end of the time. I don't want to go over 90 minutes. I really appreciate everything. What I was going to say is that I, along with Alex and Nicholas, maybe in the near future, what we're going to do is create a little bit of a language course, basic Thai language for beginners, you know, basic beginners. And stick it in the Patreon section so that if people want to learn a little bit about the language and learn what people are saying and just the basics, they can do so. So that should be coming soon. I'll have to figure it all out. But thank you very much to everybody for joining me. We're running out of time here. We're out of time. So please click thumbs up. Please subscribe. Thank you for everyone. Thumbs up, thumbs down. I appreciate it. Very nice of everybody to be here. And thanks for all the contributions. Jamie, I'll talk to you soon. And maybe I'll be in Pattaya soon as well. But yeah, everything's in the description. So until next time, choke me, jerk and mine, and all that good stuff. See ya.